Today we're making art robots. Now for this experiment, I have a 3-volt DC motor, a switch, a AA battery pack, and some wires. All of these can be purchased on Amazon for a really low cost. I've already set up most of the circuit. I'm going to show you how to solder one piece. I've connected the battery pack to the switch, and I'll be connecting the rest of the switch to the DC motor to complete the circuit. I'm going to expose a little bit of that end of the wire. I used wire strippers like this to do that. I'm going to loop this through the hole, and my soldering iron has been cleaned and has been warmed up. So I'm going to touch where I would like to solder for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to go ahead and solder for 3. Now make sure you do this with a grown-up and make sure you're wearing safety glasses. Okay. So now that the circuit has been completed, the chemical energy in the battery pack can now be transferred to electrical energy in the motor. And so when I flip the switch, the motor turns on. If I disconnect any part of this circuit, the motor won't work. And now for the fun part. You can use a cup, you can use pipe cleaners, you can use googly eyes, you can make your robot as fancy as you like. You're going to be taping those markers to the bottom of your cup to make legs, and you'll see why in just a second. But back to our circuit. We're going to use some tape to tape our battery pack onto our cup. It doesn't really matter where we tape it. We'll also tape our motor to our cup. This part is a little important. We want to make sure our motor sticks off of our cup just enough so that it doesn't hit the cup itself. We want the chemical energy stored in the batteries to be transferred into electrical energy from the motor, and we want that energy to be transferred into vibrational energy into the cup. And we'll also hear some sound energy as well. So we don't want the motor to vibrate uniformly. We want it to be off kilter a little bit. So we can put a foam block on the end. You can try like clay, or you can also try like a popsicle stick. You can tape that to the end as well. So now our robot is ready. And we can turn him on and see him make his art. So cool! Now, this robot turns on when I want it to. And when I'm done with him, I turn him off. He has no choice. I tell him what to do because he's a robot. Now, this reminds me, in the Garden of Eden, God loved humans so much, he didn't want to just make us robots. He wanted to give us a choice. The choice whether to choose him or not. Love demands a choice. And so God gave Adam and Eve the choice, free will. And you probably know the story. They chose to go their own way. And sin entered the world, and it's been that way ever since. But believers, every morning when you wake up, you have a choice. You're not a robot. When you wake up, say today. Forget whatever happened yesterday or the week or the month before. Today is the day when I'm going to do my best to follow you, Lord Jesus, and rest in your grace when I mess up. Keep seeking, seekers.